building and bang on Brad's door.
Yeah, there's a big glass window you can actually see me through. You can.
I'd love to see
it's like the world's worst zoo. You can check that out. And
yeah. The monkey cage is extra ugly this year.
Yep.
Also, it's going to be a sexy night. It is episode 420. It's the episode I was waiting for, except I thought it was next week. So I guess I am kind of incompetent.
What's funny is it suits it perfectly that you forgot that it was episode 420.
I forgot it was episode 420. But I've got to say that I got some nice threads on today. I'm feeling
you
sexy.
do. Let's talk about those threads, man. Tell people at home what's going on. What do you got?
C1D is a group that's the Kaiser's gang.
The Kaiser,
that filthy Kaiser. He offered jerseys, and I thought that maybe I should at least wear the smock of my defeated enemies. I think that's what I'm going to do. Once I defeat an enemy, I'm going to wear their colors. I like that. I might have to go. Actually, I want to go steal one of Thomas Burke's jerseys. I want to steal one of his next too. That's a good idea. But this made by Intensity. Again, most of my threads are made by Intensity Sean because he is damned intense is what he is. Comfy, no padding, by the way. No padding in this.
Built-in padding.
No, none. No built-in
none on
padding.
The jersey.
No, just on me. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's what I get for making fun of you, I guess. But thank you very much to Andrew I really did expect this to show up with the usurper on the back. I pulled it out of the box and I'm like, it's going to say the usurper. It's going to say something, the king. I'm like, oh, that's nice of him. He did it. Like, I'm not even angry. Like, it's awesome.
Really though? Like, how could you be mad at that?
Right? Explore Paintball had an interesting paintball weekend and might have to make a video about it. You make a video about it and I will probably ignore it.
You know what he could do is he could call about it. Just saying.
Do you think he would do that? Are you really willing?
453-4979. You can call us
directly. He's desperate for phone content. He's letting Explore Paintball.
I've got a phone. I'm going to use the phone.
Also, thank you for sending me that video from Creepshow.
Okay, can we talk about the editing on that? Because
I don't know. I looked great, so I'm not. I got nothing to say about it.
No, not that. I'm just like the editing, the level of editing that went into that. There were so many cuts, so many screens. Why are my headphones so damn loud? There we go. That's a little better.
He did put some really good cuts in there.
Yeah.
And not just because I'm in there and I'm being vain, because I am. I love myself, but I just thought it was well put together. It was funny. It was fast cut. It'll gain attention.
Yes, it will.
Again, the guy's cool as shit. Like, he's a really nice guy. So that makes it a lot easier too. When like most of our fellow content creators, I don't think there's any of them that I've really like. They're all pretty decent guys, except for that Pat guy. That Pat guy is kind of a pervert, but I still like him. So I guess he's okay. But when I see him next there, I gotta get him to rip that dreadnought and try it because I got to use it this weekend. I'm all over the place, buddy. Didn't take my meds. I am just.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Roll with it, bud. Roll with it.
We'll dive into everything. We got lots to talk about tonight. Mike got to meet Creepshow. That's cool, man. Mm-hmm. Nice. What's not an excuse?
Being at work. Explorer says you can't call. I'm at work. I don't care.
I'm pretty sure Greg is called from work. Rhino called us one time from his office because he is that dedicated.
And it's like, you know what? I know that Explorer. I'm pretty sure he drives a forklift. Hands free, bro. Hands free. Bluetooth.
If that's a union job, OSHA's gonna have his ass in a sling. And I mean, the wolf is always working, and he's called us.
Yeah, but he works from a fancy office in his house.
Shut up! You're not supposed to stop that. What else? So we're all over the place tonight. So we've got a cool show. Anyways, Brad came up with a really cool topic at the the 11th hour. This is a great topic,
right?
I'm like,
boom,
actually
hit me, and I was like, let's roll.
I like it. Going kind of running off the back of our, paintball community. How do you make the community better? Yada, 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 which the amount we've talked about it, I'm starting to feel like it's mental health and paintball. Paintball saved my life. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. No, but it's nice that we're able to like kind of keep the ball moving on to the next like tiny topic, and eventually we'll roll into like other stuff.
Andrew wants to call from the toilet. Fun fact: I was during my bachelor party. My friends roasted me, and the guy that roasted me was sitting on the toilet.
Nice.
He sat on the bog and just shredded me. It was wonderful. Good evening,
and for the
Justin.
record, you'd be the first to call into the show, but you won't be the first person on the show to do that.
To call from a toilet?
Yeah.
Who called from a toilet?
Ages ago, bud. Ages ago, like in the first 15 episodes. There was a guy, I can't remember the name. It was some guy. He's like
when is the last time somebody has called a radio show from the toilet?
I don't know, man. I listen to Q all the time, and
except for my man, the myth, the legend, who broadcast by satellite.
That's
the mythical nose hasn't really broadcast.
Explore said he tried calling and it instantly hung up. Well, whatever number you called wasn't the right one because it didn't ring.
Someone picked up and he started talking, and they're like, "Piss off!" They just hung up the phone.
Yeah.
It's a ghost.
506-453-4979. You can call in, folks.
Before we get into
that, TJ's calling in from the land of destruction.
I hope everything's okay. It looked bad, but I'm glad to see that. And mad props to War Machine for getting themselves opened right again, and he was back to teching guns like within 48 hours, if not closer to 24.
Yeah,
there's video of TJ sitting outside teching guns like a beast.
Yeah,
neither rain, no snow, no.
You're over on Twitch. I haven't seen you in ages, bye.
Who's Bag of Chips?
Bag of Chips. Bag of Chips was a viewer ages ago.
Hey, buddy, welcome back. Yeah. It's nice to see you. So TJ, they were back up teching. Fun fact: we learned some things about the Dreadnought when I brought it out to the field because there were a couple things that I think might have gotten loosened up in transit because we had to take apart the. Josh actually Gastelum, the gas man, helped me out with it because it was leaking air. So we it was where the ASA connects. There was an O-ring missing, and there was one piece that was just a little loose on the inside. I just can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head. But what I thought the coolest thing, and this is something I never expected to see on a paintball gun because it's been an issue, I think, with every gun I've ever dealt with, is that there's always 3 or 4 different size screws.
Yes.
Not on the Dreadnought.
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
Consistency is key, folks. Consistency is key.
The grip screw and the velocity adjustment screw and anything that we had to get to on that marker on Saturday when we tested it.
Yep.
We got to it with one Allen key. And let me tell you, it's beautiful. Yes, I passed it around to the boys, and the boys all tried it. A couple of the boys said they still preferred the Odin because it's compact. But the Dreadnought, I found the sweet spot because it's got one, and it's bigger than the Hellions, not by much, but it's big enough that I was able to find it within the first two hoppers. I was able to find that sweet spot, and then I was able to just send a line of paint. So I'm looking forward to using that. That thing is going to be sexy. And when you come to visit me again, bring the Hellion. I'll call TJ. We'll fix the Hellion, and then we'll take them out and we'll tour. We'll try them out with people and see what we can get people to try and try to find. I'll admit it. I want to push the mechanical scene just a little bit more, just because all electronics die in my hand. All electronics die in my hands. It's a well-known fact. It's a well-known fact. It's a universal constant. So if I can't break a mech gun, why not?
You know what? I just tried calling the call-in line from my cell, and it would not go through.
That is so. What are you telling me that UNB didn't pay their phone bill?
I don't think it's that.
Boo!
this button?
Outlaw ball. Questionable safety issues.
Uh,
I'm gonna probably run a few, but I want to try it in street ball. If I can consistently stay in that pocket and I can keep sending the paint that fast, I will. But if I start getting a bit of a loose chocolate starfish, I'm gonna probably just get the shocker and. But
yeah.
I
Checking
am
out
thinking
Explorer's
about.
comment here. He says, long story short, went to a place, had some very questionable safety issues and was letting people play with some questionable safety gear. I'm kind of curious what his idea of questionable safety gear is.
Holy shit! Speaking of that, and that's crazy that you just mentioned that. Thanks, Explorer. We were. I was at home. I was at one of our sponsors, Moncton Paintball. I was hanging out a couple of weeks ago, and we were just on the airball field where Josh had turned it 45, so it was just a new style of field, just something to try. And this dude comes on the field, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at his mask, and it looks like one of those thin airsoft masks with plastic eyes. And we're
From like
like,
Timu or something, isn't it? It's a wish mask.
yeah, it was a wish mask. And I'm like, no. And I don't think he got basically kind of like gently, kind of like, listen, dude, that's no. They got him a proper mask, and they put a, like, Josh put a mask on that dude so quick because he looked at him. He's like,
I've seen some of the bigger fields. God, I wish I could remember the name of the one. They had something like that happen where a kid basically had like one of those like skull masks. Like it looks really cool. Yada
that's
yada.
what
yada.
it was. It was like the HK Army skull mask, but it was like
cheap. And the field bought it off the kid. So the kid brought it. It was like a walk-on day or something, right? Like first day of paintball or like second day of paintball, whatever. But the kid's trying to get into it, and
they bought it off him so that he wouldn't.
They bought it off him, and then they just hammered the hell out of it with a speedball marker, and it just shattered, just exploded into a million pieces.
You know
like
what?
One paintball split the lens in half. Like
I had a friend when I was working in the pawn shop business. Anytime somebody would try to pawn or wanted to sell tattoo gear, he would buy it. It didn't matter what they wanted. If the price was reasonable and they were willing to sell their tattoo gear, he would buy their gear.
Get it out.
And then he would immediately destroy it, or he would sell it to a tattoo artist that was reputable that he knew, and they might part it out. But
I was going to say, use it for spare parts or something. Pull the motor
but he would, that's actually Mr. Wizard. He would buy the gear off. Yeah, because he was a scratch artist, and he was like, no. So when we got into the pawn shop business together and we were working together, we always said, you don't pawn tattoo gear. It's dirty. Like, it's just not something you do.
Gross.
And he's like, no, I'll buy it. Yeah. I'll buy it. I'm like, what are you getting back into ink? Like, I wouldn't mind. The guy was a good artist. And he's like, no, I just don't want people having scratch gear in public. Like, they shouldn't have this.
It's like, if they're willing to get rid of it, it's better that I buy it at the pawn shop than for them to sell it on Facebook Marketplace and somebody else get hold of it who shouldn't have it.
God, do I really want? Yeah, no, can't have that. That's no bueno. So I always laugh when I think about Ross doing that and hooking people up that way.
TJ wants to know what I think of the look of the autococker. TJ, you know exactly what I think of the look of the autococker, and those words I cannot say on Canadian radio.
but you said amazing. But you said cocker.
Yeah, but it's sexy, man. It is so sexy.
It is. I had someone ask me if they sold the pump, and I just sent them a picture of the destroyer. I'm like, just look at this. This is what you want. Actually, Thomas.
Sorry, that was loud.
My boy, Thomas Burke, you need to look at the N5 destroyer. You and the rest of you pump monkeys that love that action, just like all of us. But that thing is sexy. That's
yeah. And the autococker, I was looking at it, I'm like, man,
holy shit, it's Jimmy Flynn.
What? Jimmy Flynn?
Jimmy Flynn's here. Matt McCauley.
What up, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
You know what I actually like the most about the cocker design, and I don't know why I like this, but the fact that it is basically a blank. It's a blank block. They haven't done any like crazy fancy milling to it. So it's just like a really standard. It's a square. It's a block. It works. It's got all the autococker pieces to it.
It looks like an autococker. It's very pretty.
It looks like, because you used to be able to buy. They're getting pretty rare now, but you used to be able to buy autococker blocks, just the body, and it wasn't painted. It was just a chunk of aluminum that had been milled for like airlines and barrels and whatnot, and like threaded for the barrel and stuff. But machinists would buy that and like do custom milling on it, and you'd end up with like one of a kind autocockers, right? And that's what I love about this. I'm just looking at it, I'm like, it's classic, right? It's simple, it's classic. I even like the fact that it's got the exposed flex line.
Yeah, everything's exposed. It looks very like steampunky. I always like the looks of those things. They're too fancy for me. They're too finicky for me, but they are really, really beautiful.
I think it's amazing.
I've heard the word. I see the word electro and nova, and you know, I'm in the middle there.
I don't know if it'd be possible.
An electro nova?
Electro nova. No, that defeats the purpose of a nova.
Thank you.
No. What I'm looking at the autococker, and I'm just thinking, like, I don't know how possible it would be, but I'm wondering what would happen if I got my hands on one, and then if our boy Zach could throw that on his mill and do some fun stuff to it.
Oh.
Treat it like a blank. I don't know if it's something Zach could do or be willing to do.
They're getting close there, Jimmy. They're getting closer every time, every tweet.
DJ, I'm going to be selling them. I have blanks in stock. We're going to be doing an electro line. That's cool.
Okay, so that means I'll have to sell my shocker then. Not going to need that.
He says it was done on purpose. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd love to get one. Maybe next year. Maybe.
That's wild.
But you know what? If I wait till next year, we can
renew our passports and go to Georgia. Go to that.
I'm working on getting my passport renewed. Actually, when I was going to come up on the weekend, I was going to get you to sign some paperwork for me, because I am hopefully making my way to Chicago the first week of November for some work.
Oh, cool. That's wicked, dude.
Well, not really work. I'm not working. I'm going down because we were invited. But I was invited because of one of my jobs. That makes sense?
Yes, it does. I want to go to that Fulda place. You know what place I'm talking about? Fulda Gap, baby.
Fulda Gap's in North Carolina.
What's in Pennsylvania? Ions in Pennsylvania.
Paintball Explosions in Chicago. I just realized I'm going to Chicago.
Yeah.
I can get deep dish. I can get legitimate Chicago deep dish. Also, fun fact, totally unrelated to everything and anything. But I'm going to be in Chicago the day of the presidential election in the United States. Pray for me.
No.
Because I'm going to make a comment.
You're going to get
it from a bunch of Chicago people.
Chicagoites?
I don't know what you call them.
Chicagoians?
Maybe?
Chicagoites?
Chicagoites.
Chicagans? I don't know. This is going off the rails, man. This has been one of those nights, guys.
What do you call someone from Chicago? I'm actually pumped.
Steve.
A Chicagoan.
Chicagoan.
Yeah, it's called you call them a Chicagoan.
Wow, that was easier than I expected. Also, if Brad doesn't show up, I'm gonna get Flat Brad again. If he doesn't show up for Street Ball, I'm gonna get somebody to make me another Flat Brad.
Oh, I've already got the wheels in motion to get that weekend off, and the building can burn. I'm taking the weekend off.
at this point, that building should burn if they don't give you a weekend off. So
you know what though, I can guarantee you that the building won't, because I know for a fact the sprinkler system works.
Oh, that's right. Also, putting it out there for anybody who is coming to Moncton Paintball first, the street ball finale. Come and find the King's tent. I'm going to try to get there early on Saturday because the Prince of Paintball won't be with me. He's going back with the Queen. So I am going to have the tent. We're going to try to get a barbecue. We're going to try to gom. We're going to try to gom it a little bit for the end of the season.
I love that. You know what we need? We need our own little barbecue.
Fortunately, they're not expensive this time of year.
Right.
And there is enough homeless encampments and we have enough armory. We could just go roll one and get ourselves a cheap one. No, we don't encourage you to roll homeless people for their barbecues. That is satire. That is a joke, people. I'm talking to you two. You know which two you are hanging out in one of those dorm rooms. Yeah. Don't be stupid, boys.
Yeah, don't make dumb decisions based on what we've said.
Please,
apparently, Recovery FPS is watching the show on Twitch, and
oh, hey, Recovery, what's up, buddy?
She just messaged me. She's like, "You cut your beard? It looks shorter." I'm like, "I did cut my beard. I didn't. I had a professional. I had a barber cut it."
Oh, I just thought of something. Do you know what today is?
Today is
the Queen of Enemies. It's the Queen of Enemies' birthday.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, it's Queen's birthday.
Happy birthday, Mel. We love you. I hope that it was sexy. I mean, Dan's there, so we both know it was. That's awesome. I heard that event looked like it was wild. Also, this weekend, Cowboys and Banditos. The Pistol Pump Challenge.
Is that this weekend?
Yes, it is.
It's the same weekend. Oh, never mind. Street Ball's next weekend.
Yeah, Street Ball. No. They made sure they were Eric was very conscious about when they booked it. It is at, I believe it's at AXP. I will double check here once I have free hands. But
I'm still scrolling through the Cocker site.
You're still scrolling through the Cocker site looking for.
Well, I'm looking at them and I'm just like, you know what? If I wait till next year, I could afford one of the fancy painted ones. Well, they're not painted; they're anodized. One of the fancy anodized ones. Is what I'm looking at. Or I just go with the straight black and be like, "Hey, Zach, what can you do with this?" And he's gonna be like, "Nothing." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Hey, Zach, it's all in black. What can you do with this? Absolutely nothing. Thanks, Zach.
Basically, yeah. He's gonna be like, "Nothing. I can't do anything." I mean, I don't know what his machine's capable. I've seen his machine. You were there. We saw his machine. I don't know what it can do.
It is a very sexy machine. Alpha 22. How you doing, buddy?
Like I've seen him make some fancy stuff, but I don't know if it can make.
Yeah, he's been working so much that I sometimes wonder if he's still alive.
No, I get memes from him on Instagram.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know that's how him and I, we don't talk words wise. We're literally just sharing the most deranged things we can find on Instagram. My Instagram feed is cursed because of him. So let's get into tonight's topic. I want to talk because this is something that I attempted to do when I was much younger and dumber and failed spectacularly. Is
it paintball story time?
It's paintball story time. So want to talk. So we've been talking about community building and whatnot, and then tonight I got an idea, and I was like, let's talk about team building, but not just team building. Let's talk about scenario paintball team building. That weird cousin of paintball where it's like I want, where people are like, I want to build a team, but I don't want to play speedball. I want to play scenario. Yeah, C1D.
These guys. C1D, Jesus, Tango and their lads, and NFT. Yeah, those guys, all the Ontarian lads that we play with. There's not a whole lot of speedball guys that we've been playing with the exception of the Grumpies. They're the speedball team.
I would actually say C1D. I would factor C1D into more of a like generic rec ball team, less than a scenario team, but it's under the same umbrella.
That's a dirty word, generic.
Not generic, but
I think we're gonna have to. You know what, my Kaiser brother? I think we need to go and teach the Irish a lesson here. You're not being very nice. Not being very nice to us.
It's no. It's not an insult. It's just kind of like a
a general team. Like they do gotta do a little bit of everything because they do pump, they do mag fed.
I would say they're closer to the GOM. the GOM do play speedball, but they're not a speedball team. They have a speedball team, but they're not a speedball team.
No, we are recball. Okay.
See, called it. Boom. But yeah, so because I know a lot of people, we were talking about the community building and whatnot, and it's like, maybe I don't want to play speedball, maybe I don't want to be on a speedball team, and it's like, that's fine. You could build a recball team or a scenario team. The scenario might be a little harder. The scenario events are kind of, I think they're hitting a point of, oh, that's a really great topic that we should discuss maybe later. Is scenario paintball finally hitting its point where it's like we're at an apex? We're like, right? And it's like, where do we go from here? And it's going to start to go downhill.
Just as things do. I can answer the question. We don't have to have a discussion. We just need people to show up.
You just did what I did about 10 minutes ago.
So everybody understands the boss lady, the program manager. Yep. We finally got slapped on the ding ding for some foul language, and I do apologize because I'm willing to bet it was me. And,
for the record, it was because you were in the studio. We were both super excited, and we just like two idiot kids on the internet is what happened. We turned into children on the internet.
We did, and she's
plateaued. Cool. That's what I'm looking for. Mike's got it's plateaued.
Mike is, thank God for Mike keeping us on track tonight, man.
It's because scenario, I've played some really great scenario games, but it feels like the limitations of paintball are starting to finally, like, we're hitting a point where it's like, okay, there's only so many ways we can dress up a flag or dress up a thing where the game doesn't immediately de-evolve into just team deathmatch or capture the flag, but your flag weighs 30 pounds. You know, like
man, I'm telling you that okay, I see what you mean with that one, because I played a lot of capture the flag, and Jerome is about a 30-pound stuffed giraffe that I drag ass across a field. So
yeah, so that's something to talk about later, and then we can discuss like the great scenario games of the past and some of what are the great scenario games of the present. That'll be a great episode. We're gonna get into that. But yeah, so building a team. I think I would love to see more teams like C1D. I would love to see more rec ball teams, more just like general paintball teams, where it's just a team of people that play paintball, and it's not speedball. It's not, you have to commit to every weekend, commit to every practice, which I totally get, and I understand the speedball guys, they take that stuff seriously, as they should. That's the competitive side of it. But like, build a team, make a team, have a team captain, a co-captain, break it down, right? But don't go so granular. I've seen some teams where it was like, woof, it was granular. It was
squad
general, and then there was like I don't know the rankings, but there was things like lieutenant and colonel and general and
C1D has one. It's a Kaiser. I've seen.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's a top done.
Yeah, that's it. If something happens to Andrew, we know what he's going to be called, and we're not getting into that on the radio, but if Andrew's Reichstag burns down, bud, we're all in a whole bunch of trouble in the paintball world. So let's not. But you're right. But also, that's like this. I was saying, we talked about like building the community, getting everybody out to have a barbecue. That's what that is. That's what I want to do at Street Ball. I want to get those people that I've balled with for the last few years, and that, not everybody gets out. Paintball ebbs and flows. It wanes. It comes back. It goes. And you need to give people a reason to come out. And that's not a stab at any field. That's every event is a good event if you go and your friends are there, right? Mm-hmm. It could be the best. It could be D-Day. And if my friends aren't at D-Day, it's not fun for me. Right. I go home, I go to Moncton, and there's a lot of great people there. I love playing there, but there are people that I played with before that I miss. And when I don't see them and they've been gone for the whole season, I miss my friend. And it sometimes it takes the piss out of it. And I don't really want to go, and I need that motivation. I remember I had said, I need that person that drives me, that I want to go out and I want to shoot at Cole every Sunday. I love shooting at Cole. I love shooting at Corey, and that's not a shot on anybody that I played with this year or anywhere. It's just
there was chemistry. There was
chemistry.
Mesh. There was the stuff.
Yeah, and I think we're on the right path. You and I and C1D's definitely figured out. The GOM has figured it out. Yep. Northern Mercenaries has a good bunch of good gang that comes out. They do their pig roast.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Pitts and
Alpha. Alpha's talking about the Wee Savage Army. Recball team travel around from close games to a few provinces away to catch the good vibes of our distant friends, right? So it's I think it comes down to a lot of people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Like,
yes, Batman.
Is that a quote from Batman?
That's basically, you could almost be. Yes, that's basically a Christian. People want to be a bigger part of them. Yes. And then I mean,
that's awesome.
Good job.
I had no idea.
Good job, Alfred. But again, Michael Cain's statement, he was right. The sentiment is very right. People want to be part of something bigger than themselves.
The hard part is that nobody wants to put in the energy to run it, because there needs to be somebody at the helm, right? Like I know a lot of people. I've seen it happen in the past, not just in paintball, but people come together and go, we're gonna be a really cohesive group, and we're not gonna have a dedicated leader, and we're just gonna work together as a group. And it breaks down within minutes, because as soon as like two people argue, suddenly it splits and you have two teams now. And it's just, it breaks down. You need one person at the helm, basically guiding the whole thing.
There's a reason that Smokeonda has a king that is only a king in title, and we have a prime minister who runs everything. There's a reason for that, because we're all morons and the president knows what's going down. So the PM guts us.
And it's the first aid thing. You learn it in first aid, where you have to point at somebody. If you just yell into a crowd, go get help, nobody will move. But if you point at an individual and say, go get help, that person will go. So you kind of need to, like, somebody needs to be at the helm and tell everybody, almost on an individual basis, hey, we're going here on this day. Like, I've made the executive decision. We're going.
I still stand by the take $1 from them. And just $1 for registration. They'll show up.
Right? Yeah.
Just take $1.
It's the shopping cart.
Yeah.
The shopping cart thing, right? Put the dollar in people. That's $1, right? People keep the dollar. So yeah,
well,
just
want my back.
Yeah, I want my loony back.
Yeah, so I want my loony back, damn it.
So it's just a matter of getting a group of people together to go and do something together. And I think that's like kind of the core of how to do it. And then when it comes down to the nitty-gritty and the hard stuff, I think a lot of teams are unprepared for this part, but sometimes you got to part ways. Sometimes one individual or two, maybe two individuals, are not the right fit for the group. And you've got to deal with it.
They either got to come to Jesus or they got to get off the planet, kind of thing.
Right. So it sucks. But if you've got, you know what I mean? Like if you got a group vibe going on and somebody's messing with the vibe,
and someone's being a douche canoe, then no, we don't want them here. I'm sorry. That's kind of what I've been saying. Like, listen, y'all can come and party at the King's tent. Everyone's welcome, but everybody gets
one. We'll 86 you too if we have to.
Everybody gets one. If you act like a douche and enough people come up and they're like, yo, this guy's kind of acting like an asshat, I'm going to look at somebody bigger than me and say, you want to ask him to leave? Or somebody might want to tell that guy to leave before
somebody's got a nickname like Baby Bear.
Yeah, and I do love when Baby Bear tells someone to
go away.
He just kind of nods his head. Get out of here.
We need a guy named Tiny. You know what I mean? Like we need the
that's why we had Baby Bear. I mean, again, paintballers, not poets, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, bro, settle down. I'm gonna get Baby Bear to come out.
Yeah, Baby Bear's here. Just imagine the look on someone's face, right? They're like,
so I was really hoping to be able to get people to call in and explain, like talk about their team experiences, but unfortunately the phones, I guess, aren't working, which really, really sucks. But
and again, this is a university radio station. This is your tax dollars at work, darn it. Consarn it. I bet you did something wrong.
Not my tax dollars. It's the university's tuition dollars at work here. So Andrew Gannell says making sure new guys mesh as you get bigger is tricky, and that's true, because as you get bigger, you're going to attract more new people because they want to be a part of the cool thing too, but maybe they don't fit.
How do you deal with it, Andrew? And again, I do wish you could call. I do wish you could call and tell us, because
I don't know. Try calling. Maybe it'll work now. I don't know. Cameron says your taxes partially subsidize it. Fine. Whatever.
Shut up.
I don't make enough money to care about taxes.
I hope you're bringing your brother-in-law for street ball. I'll bring an extra chair for him. The sober, straight edge version of me is the coolest guy in the world. He's awesome. He's the most. He's me if I just was unmedicated and sober.
Yeah, so Explore Paintball saying, I forgot I was a part of SAS Saskatchewan, but I haven't heard anything from them in years, so they kind of drifted off. That's a big thing. SAS was a huge international paintball.
Wasn't nice. It was a very cruel thing to say. I'm sorry, Explore. You know I love you, buddy. I missed you. He said maybe they kind of drifted off. I said maybe they just don't like you.
Savage. No, SAS really is a shadow of its former self.
Yeah, they were I had heard that from them, that it had shrunk a little bit from some of the boys. So
it's shrunk. A lot of people got out of the sport. Andrew's in the chat.
We're losers. We're losers, lady. Don't make me come over there and tell you how good of a mom you are. We always outline expectations. We tell them before we play with them and before every game. We're here for fun, no overshooting. Let the noobs have their moment when you can. That's it.
Yep.
He's got it. There's a reason we have a king and a Kaiser of paintball. It's because he gets it. That's what this is about.
And that's right. And that's great. And then when it comes to the inner core of the team, because you're going to have the new guys. New guys are chilling. They're hanging out. They're having fun, right? They're part of a team. They're having a blast. But you got the group that you need a core. You need a foundation. You need a solid foundation. And I think a part of that is that foundation needs to recognize that they may have to go along to get along on certain things. You know, don't make a mountain out of a molehill kind of thing. If they're not happy with, say, I don't know, they don't want to go to a particular field that one weekend. Well, just go,
don't have to come.
Or don't come along, right? Yeah. So just
don't harsh on my grind, okay?
Right there, Polly Shore.
Not wrong,
buddy.
That pops up every so often on the old feed when I see that.
He does. He does. I keep seeing clips from Polly Shore joins the army.
Oh, in the army now?
Yeah, in the army now.
Listen, Pauly Shore is a perfect encapsulation of the 90s. If for those of you too young to remember the 90s, which is almost nobody in this chat, so y'all remember the first time you saw
was the 90s.
Yeah, like we all saw Encino Man. If you haven't seen Pauly Shore is Dead, I absolutely recommend watching it. It is a what if Pauly Shore, he fakes his death, and you see what could have been if Pauly Shore had faked his death at the height of his career. Would he have been respected and loved like a John Belushi? We'll never know.
I don't
go watch. So. I think you should watch the movie. It was very good. I genuinely, it's one of those movies that you kind of picked it up on a whim, and you're like, this is gonna be.
You got me thinking weird. Though. What about? You know what I'm thinking? Know what I'm thinking?
No. I don't know what you were thinking.
Sorry, you just mentioned the movies and stuff, and I'm like thinking about the team thing and like doing the recball thing. We should because we were talking about organizing like podcast gaming nights where we were gonna like stream and get people to jump into the party, whatever game we were playing, like Battlefield or something. Battlefield would be a great game because you can get stupid amounts of people on each team. Not that we have that many fans, but it'd be nice to have at least like 4 or 5 of you show up and not hit a party limit.
Oh hell! I mean, I'm gonna throw my my Nintendo ID up there if anybody wants to play some Mario Kart with me, because
I just found a system that lets you do like watch parties on Netflix and stuff.
Oh,
yeah, that'd be kind of cool, right?
Oh, when is World Cup again? November 5th. I've got a spot where we can have ourselves a little watch party. So anybody who wants to come to Moncton that weekend, get in touch with me. I got a spot where we can have ourselves a private watch party. So we can. It's not going to be like jammed into my house. I'd be damned. I'm using the venue whether they like it or not.
It's November 6th to 10th, so I'd be getting back the first day of the World Cup. I mean, I mean the watch party would be on the last day. It would be the pro
watching. Yeah, we're not watching it all. We're not having I'm not spending a weekend with you people.
Oh, come on.
Well, maybe you, but
6.
I mean, oh, wait a sec. Why do I think I'm going to have a turtle show up here in the next day or two looking for a place to sleep?
You probably will.
Oh, shoot. I have to find a place for Turtle to sleep. Simon's going to come downstairs.
If he shows up unannounced, it's the floor.
No, he asked me. But you know what happened. I tallied myself and forgot. And so Simon's going to come home. We're going to get out of bed, and Turtle's going to be sleeping on the floor. Mind you, that'll be fine. They're about the same age, you know.
Thomas Borg, Battlefield equals slugs in the shoddy and C4 for friends.
Yes. I miss when Battlefield didn't suck. So
right.
That was a long time
ago. Not to derail the conversation even more, but it looks like they're going back to basics hard on this next one. Like they learned their lesson hard. They even brought back one of the original Battlefield 4 devs to run the whole project.
Yes, there's the problem. You're bringing back a Battlefield 4 dev. Bring me back a Bad Company dev.
Oh, Bad Company 2, bro. Give me some Bad Company 2.
Yeah. So guess what? They're going back to... No, they're not. They're going back to Battlefield 4, which was crap.
I like Battlefield.
Crap. It was not. There was no bueno. It was that.
Bad Company 2 will always have.
Wow, that's just because I'm stubborn.
No, Battlefield Bad Company 2, man. If we could get Bad Company 2 working.
Battlefield 1 was fun. Again, you're the Kaiser, so I'm not surprised that you would have that opinion.
Love how Bond chicks like, Brad, no sunglasses? No sunglasses. Because you know why? I forgot them. But I've got I actually have 4 monitors in front of me right now. So I'm now that I'm aware of myself looking at them all, and now I'm all like
self-conscious.
So anyways, that's the thing to happen. Andrew Gagnon says in the chat that goes, yes, you need a core group of people without question. Boys will be boys and we'll have good and bad days. If you can't laugh at yourself when you run out of air when you're about to win the game, then we can't be friends.
There's nothing funnier than watching someone come over like a log or something in the woods and hear
right?
You hear the tank empty and you're like,
the Tipman tank, man. I told you we used to do that. That's a legitimate tactic we used back in the day, right?
What?
The Tipman. So when you had 98s, right? Or if you had an A5 or something, you'd be firing away like pop, 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 right? And then like maybe there's a stalemate. You'd unscrew your tank just a little bit, and it would go, and then you'd screw the tank back in real quick, and then they'd come over the hill thinking you got no air.
That's beautiful. That's sleazy. I like it.
I did that. I did that a lot at Long Reach Paintball back in the day. We were allowed to run full auto on the A5s. And so I ran a remote line. So I'd undo the remote line just a little bit and just and then snap it back in, and then come over the hill and just go to E-grip and just whop and just send full auto at whoever came over that hill.
I love it.
Yeah, the old tactic. Oh yeah, there's lots of old tricks that we used to do. Greg
Crazy.
Hastings, which is where when you walked off the field and you wanted to point where somebody was, you'd put your hand up, put your marker up, and then put it over your head and point with the marker, so the barrel would point. And you could always tell. It was always easy to tell who was doing it because, like, if somebody was doing it, especially if most people are right-handed and suddenly the marker's in their left hand, it's pointing to the right.
Yeah, I figure they've got people watching for hand signals or some sort of stuff like that because
nowadays they do. But you used to see that, you just bonus ball. They're walking and the marker's pointing at somebody. Snap, 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 snap. I see you. So yeah, we used to do that.
That's great. I like that.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty good idea,
days, man. The lawless days. Bring those days back.
Yeah. We keep saying that. The lawless
old
days.
Man shouts at clouds.
Yep, there it is.
Tie an onion to your belt, as was the style at the time. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to see more little startup teams that
factions,
little factions. Yeah,
little stables. You got to have your heel stable. Goddamn, gotta have your he's a heel. That's what you need. You need a group of villain paintballers to go and screw with all the good teams.
Yeah. So I'd love to see more teams.
Creep show. Call me.
Yeah,
we'll go torture Nightmare as a gimmick and just start screwing. I can't even focus on what I'm thinking now. Just start messing with Nightmare.
I love
him and Wolf, because those two would be the ultimate Autobots.
Oh God.
Come on, tell me you don't. Yes, I'm not wrong. So
no, 100%. It's Wolf is 100% Optimus Prime, and Nightmare would be like
Bumblebee.
Think he'd be Bumblebee, or would he be more?
He's not cool enough to be Jazz or Rod. Well, I mean, he could be Rodimus Prime. He sucks. He could be Ultra Magnus.
Nightmare's the trailer. He's just the trailer for Optimus Prime.
By the way, that Transformers 1 is fantastic. It is really good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's better than it was really legit better than it deserved to be. I wish the trailers did it no justice.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Love that. Oh, shutting that screen down. No.
Shutting down? No.
No, not this one. The other screen.
We still have 12 and a half minutes of airtime on beautiful 97.9 CHSR in Fredericton. By the way, it is 12 degrees and clear in Moncton, but I don't know what the weather is in Fredericton because I'm not.
Are we doing the weather now? Are we going to start doing the weather on the podcast? Are we allowed to do the weather?
I don't know, but I was going to start calling out other radio stations in the Moncton area, just because.
We should. You know what? How long have we been doing the radio show?
Not long enough that we have any sort of ability to call someone out. We still barely know what we're doing on a good day,
right? No, but I wonder, like, how do we
call other radio stations?
No, how do we get our show on other radio stations?
I don't know if anyone would actually want us on the radio station. The only reason we're here is because it's university radio.
Yeah, so get me on other university radios. Put me on the University of Toronto's or Toronto University Radio, Ottawa Radio, community radio. I don't care. Give me some guy in his basement with an AM radio. Whatever. I'll broadcast stuff. I'll bounce that off the ionosphere.
Get me an old prod. Yeah, let's not start talking about pirate radio when we're on our university.
I'm not saying pirate radio.
Yeah,
there's free channels. There are channels out there that you're allowed to broadcast on. Explore Paintball says it's hard to start up a group with randoms that want explore. You got to work on your grammar, bro. Hard to start up a group with random that want to play a lot with a small population of players.
Hard to start up a group with randoms with a small population who want to play. Yeah, okay. That's like starting up a group here.
But you know what? Nobody says that the group's got to be 30, 40 people. Do start with 3. Be a trio. Right? Then maybe you become 4. Become a quartet. Right? Then you become 5, whatever that is.
Quintet.
Thank you. And build up, right?
Series of books.
And then you go from there. Cameron, could you spread to like DAL or STFX college radio? Maybe.
I would have no objections.
I don't know how we do that. I'm going to ask. We're going to find out. Is that a thing? That'd be kind of cool.
It'd be very cool.
Andrew says he's had randoms join as well, but Andrew also has the luxury of playing in Ontario, where 98% of the paintball population actually is.
He's in Quebec. Andrew's in Quebec.
I thought Andrew was Ontario. Okay,
so did I.
So he's got the other 2%, and then we have the MISC, the variable,
and we fall under miscellaneous.
Out of the around 24 guys on roster, there's a few who just wandered in as random on open play and never left. It happened.
Those are enlisted men. You didn't draft them. They're enlisted. They just kind of couldn't get rid of them. That's great. You need that. That's called meat for the grinder. They're probably some of the best players too. Like that's the nature of those guys, especially because they're all super welcoming people, right? Like they're not gonna chase you out of there with pitchforks if you just show up randomly and call. And so that's the biggest thing.
So Explorer says he could barely find a second person that's playing every time I'm out. That sounds like quitter talk.
Yep.
Do better. No, what I mean is
get good. GET GG
easy.
GG easy. Healers can't heal. It's the DPS's fault.
I just watched from the outside. That is out of context. That is terrible.
I kind of that kind of explains that. You're a boy here. You're the creepy old man standing behind the backstop, aren't you?
My headphones are acting up.
Yes, that is Perry the Platypus. He's been up there all night misbehaving himself, and he's good company too. He's very cuddly.
Nice. And you know what? You don't need to find somebody and just be like, I don't know, make friends. That's the hard part. Do what I did when I got Tom on the show. I sent him a Facebook message. It was like, hey, dude, you want to be a co-host on a podcast? And he's like, yeah. And we're like, great.
I mean, I called you a lot of names before we started before we started being friends too.
Yeah, you called me a lot of names, and I shot back at you a lot. So
it worked.
We didn't know each other.
It was a good relationship. It's a good relationship we have. So let's have the fun.
It was built on a foundation of several cases of paint, and it was good times.
Verbal assault on just a smidge of harassment.
Just a little bit. Just a healthy amount.
Which is paintball in a nutshell.
Really, though, right? He says, Explorer says, whenever I go out, I make sure to show people a great time. Okay.
Do you buy them a drink and tell them that they're pretty too?
Hear me out.
Okay.
What if, instead of making sure that they have a great time,
server maintenance? Yeah.
What? Server maintenance?
No, I'm playing Tetris. Tetris 99.
What if, when you go out, instead of worrying about what everybody's doing and make sure everyone has a good time, you leave that up to the field and you focus on
getting naked,
recruitment, and trying to build a team? Hear what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like
yes, I know what you are saying.
It's not the player's job to make sure everyone has fun. It's the player's job to make sure they have fun. That being said, that comes from a man who stood on a pallet and screamed at an event organizer. So take what I say with a grain of salt.
Fair. But that is something that I had to work on. It's great that everybody wants to build the sport, but once in a blue moon, you've got to think about yourself. And that goes right into our conversation earlier about mental health and all that shit. Yep. Right. It's good to want to take care of your partner. It's good to want to be that person that's there for everybody, but every so often, my man, you got to look after yourself, because at the end of the day, your partner is supposed to, and I'm not speaking about anyone specific, because I might have been that partner, when at one point too. So you've got to look after yourself, because your partner might not necessarily, they're looking after themselves too sometimes. And again, that's not shade on anyone, but you got to look after yourself, and only know how far you can take it, and before it stops being fun. And there came a point where I'm like, to hell with them.
If Explorer is going to the field every day and he's thinking, I got to make sure everyone has a good time, I got to make sure the rentals have a good time, I got to make sure, then
F them.
Bro, open a field. Because at that point, you're basically doing the field's job. Like, worry about you, man. Worry about you. You do you. Have some fun. People will follow.
It's like when you're trying to meet somebody and they always tell you, it'll find you. And you feel like that's a cop-out, and it's cliche. Cliches exist for a reason, kids. If you look for it, you're not going to find it. So just go and have fun. Be yourself.
Yeah. Andrew's got a great comment there. It's the player's job to be positive, so the next time he's back, he's not alone because you were a jerk or non-welcoming. Just be a good dude or a good dudette. Just go to the field, have some fun, be welcoming, but don't be looking out for everybody. Look out for you, and people will gravitate to positivity. They'll be like, that dude's having fun. Just be having fun in the pits, having a good conversation, that kind of jazz, right? So, but we're just about at the end. We got about a minute left. So,
a parking lot player. I like what he.
A parking lot player.
You've got to do both. You're not.
I've done that though. I've gone to Moncton and not played.
I have to. Some days, I always go with the intention of playing. It's just some days you don't.
Yeah, I've packed up my gear and just been like, I would just chill. I would drink coffee and eat Timbits and just hang out.
Well, that's what we were saying a couple of weeks ago, right? Just you go to the field and chill out with your friends. You never know who's going to show up. It's where everybody knows your name. Be good. Be kind. Be kind.
Good to each other.
Be nice. Be kind. Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other. Yes. So, folks, that's it. Rowdy here. For everyone stuck around, chit-chatting, liking, and commenting, and sharing, and all that jazz, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you're listening to us live on 97.9 FM, come find us on the socials. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, yada, yada, yada. Discord. We've really got I got to schedule that Discord stuff out. I'm going to make that go out once a week. Fun fact, one of our TikTok videos hit 10,000 views.
Which one was that?
That was like this short little clip I made of the guys doing the 1v1 at NME, and it's just like some really nice audio, and it just says this, I like this, and it's just paintball. It's just great. It was the video I put the least amount of work into. The way she goes.
And on that bombshell, just like our show, it's done.
That's it, folks. We're out of here. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Until next week, cheers.
Toodles.